Hey YouTube, this is the Wolf Senpai here, and I'm back after I don't even know how long, but my phone was messed up and it wouldn't let me record. Not even voice audio would work or anything like that. I couldn't even talk into my phone at all. And so I got a whole new phone. I couldn't even freaking have a phone call. That's saying something, so I needed a new phone. So now I got one. And this is what if Deku had Shadow the Hedgehog's powers. I know some YouTubers did this, but mine's gonna be different and everything like that. So he's gonna have all of Shadow's powers, every single one of Shadow's powers. He's gonna have all the chaos control bull crap that he does, the hover shoes that he has. This is basically what he's gonna look like. This is what Deku is gonna look like. So, instead of like shirtless, he has a black shirt on and everything, and that's basically the only difference. So let's get into the story. When he is created, he's created to cure a girl's disease, and that is Maria and everything. 50 years before the start of the anime. 50 years, okay? And when he when he's created, he's up and around and basically playing with Maria and everything like that. And Dr. Robotnik, he created Shadow to cure her disease, Maria's disease. And they are outer space, if you're wondering. And quarks are... I don't know when quarks came around. I know that it was 8 generations of freaking one-for-alls. So, it's been 8 generations, that's all I know. And Deku was the 9th, but meh. So, when... basically, every single thing that happened to Shadow happens to Deku. Like, he's playing with Maria and messing around, trying to cure her disease. Basically, the guardian of Maria and everything. So, when he's protecting Maria, one day a bunch of villains show up. Yeah, I don't really remember who the person was that came in and destroyed the whole lab or anything like that. Let's just say that it's All For One that shows up. And he basically is trying to get Shadow and everything because he heard what Shadow is supposed to be able to do. Cure diseases, stop aging, all that crap. And chaos control and like chaos powers, something like that. I don't really know because there's chaos spear, chaos blast, chaos like... there's way too many. Chaos shot, I remember that one. That move was too overpowered. Can hit someone from a far distance. But when Deku is created, he's basically does every single thing that Shadow does, and basically All For One attacks. They're running away from All For One. They got Shadow is trying to save Maria. Maria's trying to save Shadow and everything, and then only one person could stay behind, and since Shadow was the target and everything, Maria pushes Shadow in the capsule and pushes a whole bunch of buttons, and then Shadow starts to freeze, banging on the glass saying, "Maria! Maria!" and everything. And then right before he gets shot out of the space station, he sees Maria get shot. Okay. He sees Maria get shot. And then let's say that he crashes in a mountain with like he crashes into a mountain frozen, and like basically the mountain caves in on him. He's like 6 to 7, 8 feet down below the ground and everything, and basically that. And he's there for 50 years until he on thaws but the power's still on in the capsule, so he has to wait until the capsule's done. Otherwise, he would be like out in like a year or two. But instead, he's stuck in there for 50 years. And yeah, he's frozen in there for, let's say, 49 years. Okay, 49. He's stuck inside there for 49 years. Okay. And then when he's finally released and everything, he starts going out of the where he caved in the mountain and everything. And let's say that it was in a miner's mine, let's say a coal mine, and he's like crawling out of the pathway in the coal mine, and he's walking out, and he sees a light, and he puts his hand over his head to try and block out the light, and he sees the outside, and it's forest all around. And he is in Japan, just to warn you all. And he's looking around, and he sees a city, and he starts running towards the city with his hover boots activated, and he's there. And then he stops them from being on, and he just starts walking around. And he's like, I heard that there was powers down on the human world when the humans started to mutate and everything. And he sees like a man with a tail, a man with like rock skin and all that. Basically that. And he's like, are they still considered humans? Because he is known as Shadow the Hedgehog. And his memories are foggy, so he can't really remember much. He remembers Dr. Robotnik, Maria, and his name Shadow, but he doesn't really remember every single thing that he's been through and everything like that. So he's just wandering around, and this is a year before like the start of the anime, and he's walking around, looking around, and his stomach just starts growling and everything. And he walks in a store, and he finds out that he needs money, and he's like, I don't have any money. So he like says chaos control, grabs like, let's say, a girl's wallet, takes a few bucks out of it, and then like puts it back and buys some food. Yep, he just stole some money. But that's what happens. And basically since there's like no identity on him or anything like that, so it's kind of hard for him to find a job and everything. He's trying to find a job for a month and a half. He finally gets a job. Let's just say, I don't know, the freaking Japanese version of McDonald's. Not sponsored, but but he's working there, getting enough money for an apartment, and he does get an apartment. It's a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom, basically the typical anime like place when they live in an apartment. And he's living there, and then he basically meets this, let's say that he's watching TV and everything, trying to study up, see what he missed out. He found out that he's been gone for 50 years, dang near 50 years, 49 to be exact, and everything. And he's just there, and his name's Shadow, and that's what everyone calls him, Shadow. And when Deku Shadow is on the news and everything, listening, and he's like making food at the same time, he hears we at a construction site, there was this weird gem making all the machinery go haywire and everything. And he's like, and he looks over and he's a green emerald and everything right there. And I'm gonna say that he does know what a chaos emerald is. And he's programmed, like his mind, he saw all 7 of the chaos emeralds. And he's like, if I get all these, will my memories be restored? And when Deku's shadow gets the hears about the location of where the Chaos Emerald's at, he basically bolts there and everything. Let's say that he wasn't making anything like fancy or anything with using the stuff. He was just making a sandwich. Let's just say that so he doesn't burn his apartment down. But he's running and he finally gets there and he notices all of these people around, news reporters and all that crap around, and he notices he sees the shining bright emerald. They're stuck in the ground, and then they're trying to like get it out with equipment because they can't pull it out because it's stuck. And when Deku Shadow, aka Shadow, runs down there, and he's like right there in front of the crowd, and then he's like, he wants to get through and everything because he needs the Chaos Emerald, and basically that's what's happening. So he says Chaos Control and freaking zooms by, and he's like right there in front of the emerald, and he sticks his hand in and just yanks it out because we all know that Shadow is strong. He's really strong, to be honest. And then all of them are like, hey, you, stop. That's government property now and all that crap. And then he says Chaos Control and just teleports away, basically. And they're all like confused. And then the news reporters are like talking like the emerald was like taken by someone, and all that crap. And when Deku, aka Shadow, was like, he's looking at it and everything, and he's like, wait, there's 7 of them, and I have 1 right now. I need to find all 7, and I could possibly get my memories back. This girl named Maria, what's it all about? I don't remember much. All I remember is her name and mine, Shadow the Hedgehog. It's been 3 months since I woken up, but how long is it gonna be until my memories get restored? And he's wondering that, and let's just say that he's not going to school. He's not going to any middle school or anything like that. Let's just say that since he gets known as a 15-year-old by his apartment, he has to go to school, but he goes to online school. Let's just say that. And Shadow was supposed to have a super intelligence. Like he's supposed to have like a doctorate mind. A mind of a doctor, something like that. A doctorate. But I only heard about that. I don't know if it's true or anything, but he was really smart compared to Sonic, at least. But when he's like there, he's used the Chaos Emerald to enhance his power, and then he's trying to find the other 7. And when Deku was, let's say, when he was walking, let's go skip to the start of the anime. Let's just say that. He trained his power, training montage and everything, trying to utilize the Chaos Emerald that he has. Basically, that's what's happening. And then he's walking away from work in an alley, and you all know where this is going. And then he's walking, and then And then the Sludge villain attacks, and then he's struggling, and then he says Chaos Control. No, he says Chaos Blast, and the Sludge villain just blasts right off of him, and then he says Chaos. What is that bind tick? I could probably create it, but I'm pretty sure he had a binding technique that he could bind something in like a place. I don't really know what he called that, but let's just call it Chaos Bind and everything. And he picks up all of the pieces of the Sludge villain that just got scattered and like combines it into a ball. And then he does have Shadow's mind, but he's just trying to live by. He's looking for Maria, but he's looking for Maria. That is what's happening. He doesn't know anything that much. And so he's basically combines. All Might says, I am here. And then he's like, oh, it's you, and everything like that. And he walks to All Might holding the Sludge villain into like a combined ball, grabs the bottle that All Might was holding right out of All Might's hand, opens the bottle, and puts the Sludge villain and just closes the bottle. Then let's say a whole bunch of paparazzi come by, and like All Might has to jump out there because his time limit's running out. So he jumps out there, but he jumps a little too hard and he drops the bottle by accident. And then the Sludge villain gets released, obviously. And then let's say that let's say that he's going to work, not leaving work. He's going to work. And he's walking to his job, and he hears an explosion, and he's like, I don't even care, and everything. It's not my problem what these people do. And he's walking, and the explosions are happening in his direction, so he's just walking. And then, and all the civilians and heroes are trying to stop the Sludge villain. He zooms right past the civilians, and the heroes just keeps on walking. And the Sludge villain, notices a Shadow, and then he's like, no, stay away from me, I swear, and I'll kill this kid. And all the heroes were like, get back, kid, stay back, the villain will kill the kid if you don't. And he's like, stay back, I'll kill this kid. And he's like, I don't even care what you do to the kid, I'm just going to work. And the Sludge villain's taken back by this. And then he's like, I swear it, if you take one more step, I'll kill him. And he just says, he's like, you really want to do this again? And he's like, I'll kill him, I swear it. And he's squeezing even harder. And then he says, Chaos Control. And then all of a sudden, the blonde kid is right there, right behind him. And the Sludge villain's shocked and everything. And then he says Chaos Blast again, and the Sludge villain gets blasted away, and basically that's what happens. And he just says Chaos Bind, sees a bottle on the ground, puts the bottle, and then throws the Sludge villain to the heroes and just says bye, and then walks the rest of the way to his work. All Might saw this again, and he's there at work, and then All Might's there in his scrawny form, and he's watching Shadow work. And then right when Shadow gets off of work, he's walking back to his apartment, and Shadow, he's like, just let's say he's listening to music, but it's kind of hard to. He has a headset on. He doesn't have earbuds. He has whatever. I don't even care. He's listening to music, and he doesn't hear. Someone jumps right in front of him and says, I am here, and he looks up, and then he takes off his earbuds, headphones, whatever. I don't care. You all decide. I don't care what. But It's not even important. But he looks up and takes them off or out, and he's like, "Oh, it's you again." And he's like, "Yes, what? I've been meaning to talk to you, but you were busy working." And so I came to say, um, congratulations on your victory against the Sludge villain, and I would like to reward you. And he says, sorry, but I'm not interested right now. I got too many things to do. Besides, I'm not going to stay in this town for long. I got stuff to do. And All Might's a little taken back by this, and he's like, he said that he would train him and all that, and he's taken back about, like, he didn't accept my offer. What should I do? And he's thinking, if I cannot get you to train with me, and he's like, but I would like to ask, why don't you want to train with me? He says, I just think it's a hassle and everything, and he's like, I don't need to train anyways. I know everything I'm capable of. And All Might's a little taken back about this, and he's like, okay, kid, it, I would, I would like you to join. I would like to ask you a favor. And Shadow's like, I don't really have time for this, and everything, getting a little frustrated, and he says, okay, what do you want? And he says, I would like you to join UA and everything. I think you could be an amazing hero. And he's like, I don't want to be a hero, to be honest. And All Might's shocked about this too, and he's like, you humans just think you all are all that. And he's a little shocked that he says humans, because yeah. But he's talking, and he's like, you humans all fight and kill each other for thousands of generations, and you expect, like, the world to change. Nothing's gonna change no matter what. Yeah, there are people with powers, but it's still not gonna change, even if there's a symbol of peace or anything. You can't have one. He's talking, and he's like, you can't have one symbol of peace. You need to have multiple. You can't have just one, like, place, person to lead, like, just could stop the criminals every single time. You need multiple. You can't just do it like that. So, and then he's like, well, you consider joining though. And he's like, I'll think about it, and just starts walking in waves. And then he's like, whatever. And basically that is what happens. Should I? I'm gonna probably do two parts, like two different versions, like one where he's an anti-hero and one where he's a hero. So this one's gonna be hero, but let's say that Shadow's walking, and on the news they said that they found another Chaos Emerald, and let's say that it is a red Chaos Emerald. Then he has the green one right now. So he starts running to the location of this Chaos Emerald, and then he noted. As soon as he gets there, he sees a whole bunch of villains fighting. He sees a whole bunch of villains fighting for this emerald, and he just speeds right to the emerald, and like someone has it. Let's say a villain has it, and everything, and he's trying to run away with the Chaos Emerald, and then Shadow basically blitzes him and knocks him out. And then the main guy, let's say that it's Shigaraki. And Shigaraki's trying to take it, and then he's like, well, now that's 2 in my possession out of 7. And Shigaraki hears this, and he's like, 2. And basically he just runs out of there with his outfit. He's wearing this exact outfit, and he like leaves, and then Shigaraki's like, I'll remember that face. I will find you. And He has no DNA, no none of that. Not even facial recognition. That's the thing. Not even facial recognition. So when he's training, he has his chaos control went up by a lot just by having 2 chaos emeralds. And this was on the day of he beat it, the Sludge villain and everything. This was all happened at night. And when let's say that he's training his powers, practicing. Let's say that he gets so bored that he goes to a beach. Yeah, I know where you're going with this. And he's just like, this place is trashed and everything. And he's like, I wanted to enjoy a day at the beach, but look at this place. No one can enjoy a day at the beach. So he decides to clean the whole beach, and in under a day, he puts it all on one side of the freaking place, and he says chaos explosion. Let's just say that, and the entire thing explode. No, a chaos void, and basically all the trash just vanishes, and he's like, well, today it looks like it's about to start raining, so maybe I'll come back next time. And All Might goes there, and he's like, wait, what happened to all the trash? And he's like, did someone clean all the trash up? And he's a little shocked because he asked Mirio, I'm pretty sure that was his name, Mirio, to go there. And he's like, change of plans, and someone did the training beforehand and did their training, so they can't do that one that he wanted to do. So, let's say that he goes back to the beach a week later because it's nice, beautiful outside, and he's just sitting there, a whole bunch of people, and since I'm just gonna say Shadow, for girls' perspective, no homo, is handsome. Let's just say that. Handsome. No homo. But when Deku Shadow, aka Shadow, is there, a whole bunch of girls are talking to him, and then a doctor, and I know where I'm going with this, a doctor says, you'll never catch me, and sees an egg-headed person, and he's like, why does that man look familiar? He looks like, why does he, and then he's like, he hears Dr. Eggman and everything, and then he sees a whole bunch of people, a whole bunch of heroes chasing after him. Yes, Dr. Eggman is being in this. Should I add Shadow? Should I add Sonic? Sonic in? That's a toughie. Who would I make Sonic be? That's the thing. But in Tails, but I know I can add Shadow in, but meh. You all can vote. Anyways. When he sees a whole bunch of heroes chasing after this man, and he's like, whatever. And then Eggman's flying towards him, and he tries to say it he grabs he grabs Shadow, and Shadow's just like, and all the girls start screaming, running away, and he's like, I'll kill this kid if you don't stop, and blah blah blah, and all that crap. And then I forgot the name of those robot, the silver and golden robot, don't remember their names at all, but they're there as well. And then, sorry about that. Some things were going on. And Shadow's just sitting there, grabbed, and he looks back and everything. He's like, you sure you want to do this? And then he says, chaos control, and just freaking hits freaking Eggman down off of his like hovercraft thing, and then he's like, he's free, and then he's like, well, I'll leave him to you, and then just starts walking away. Goes to the stand where there's people like selling like food, and he buys like a hot dog, let's just say that, and he starts eating it, and then Eggman escapes, and yeah, basically that's what's happens, and we're gonna skip, let's say, 6 months out of the 10 months. Deku, aka Shadow, was like training with his Chaos Emeralds since he has 2 of them, and then he hears another Chaos Emerald has been found, and he like blitzes there. Dr. Eggman is there as well, and he's trying to get the Chaos Emerald, and yeah. And a few other villains are trying to get it, the ones that work for All for One, and basically that is what's happening. Shadow's straight up running. Eggman got the Chaos Emerald, and he's flying away while Shadow's in hot pursuit, just right behind him, just like right there. And then a few heroes are there, and basically they're all it's basically a chase down after Eggman since he has the Chaos Emerald, and he's like going after the Chaos Emerald, and yeah, that's what's happening. Deku, aka Shadow, is going after Eggman, and he decides to, I don't know, in games he could do this. In games, I don't remember if he could do this in the show. Wait, yeah, he could do this in the show. In Sonic X, I know that. He could run on the side of the walls. Because I know Sonic could, but he couldn't stay still like Shadow. But, and it's, yeah. Freaking, he's after him, and then he jumps over and punches Eggman, and then Eggman calls on one of his creation robot things, and he defeats it, and Eggman's nearly getting away, and then freaking All Might shows up, hits Eggman, and then he calls in another one of his robot things, and he drops the emerald, and then Shadow grabs it, and let's say that this is the yellow one, so he has the green, red, and yellow one already, and then he's like, thank you, and then he like blitzes off, and he's running off, but All Might did not see that part. All he says is thank you, and then all of a sudden the person was gone. He didn't see Shadow at all, and then we're gonna he trains with him with the 3 Chaos Emeralds since his power is more boosted than what it was, so now he has 3 of the Chaos Emeralds, and freaking Deku is like walking. Let's say that he trains for the rest of the 4 months, and then he's like, he's just there at a building at the top, and he's looking down at UA, and he's like, should I? This is the so-called entrance exam. And he's like, should I listen to that guy? I don't know, it's not my style. But again, it could help. I could get away with more stuff just in case And so he jumps down off the roof, and then he lands, and then he starts walking to the exam. He doesn't trip and meet Uraka. So he's walking there, and freaking he does the he does the exam, he passes, he gets in the top 10, let's say number 4, and then it says, okay, they explain the robots, Ida interrupts, all that crap happens the same, and then they say, the right one that says on the count of 3, go, okay, and then as soon as the doors start to open, Shadow just goes, he doesn't even care, he just goes, and he's like, 3, and as soon as that happens, as soon as the door, like, gets enough for him to, like, fit through, he goes, and he's destroying robots like so fast that he's like President Mike is just like on one, and he destroyed already 20 freaking robots. That's how fast it was. And he's like, what are you waiting for? There are no countdowns in the real world and everything, and a villain attack, all that crap. And he's like, wait, someone was already there attacking the robots. Wow, this man's smart. And basically, that's what happens. And he's destroying all the robots. Let's say that he gets like so bored that he just starts walking around, and all of a sudden a whole bunch of 3-pointer robots surround him, and he's just, all the teachers are like, wait, that kid's in trouble. He's gonna like get hurt, and they're all going. Mr. Let's say that All Might was gonna I don't know, a hero was gonna step in and to save him, but Eraserhead's like, no, let's see what happens. This kid, he seems to be perfectly calm, like this is nothing to him. Let's see what he got. Basically, that's what's happening, and all of a sudden, all of them charge right at him, and then he says, chaos control, but no one heard him, and then all of a sudden, all the robots just collapse on the ground, blowing up all around him, and then he's just walking, and then he's like, I guess I got enough points to pass, and then he hears a scream, and he looks back, and he sees all these people running right past him, and then he looks back, and he sees a girl trapped underneath rubble, and he's like, well, it's not important to me. And then he's walking, and she keeps on saying, help, someone help me. And then he's like, because Shadow was never a bad person. He helped kids and all that. He helped people that didn't harm him, let's just say that. And Shadow, he runs to her, and then the 0-pointer is getting ready to step on them, and he puts his hand out and says, Chaos Shield. And then a shield just appears, and he like starts lifting up the rocks, moving them down, and then he said, she's like, I can't move my ankle, I twisted my ankle, and then he picks her up and runs away, then sets her down, and then he looks at the 0-pointer, and he puts his hand out, and he says chaos destruction, and then all of a sudden the robot stops, and then boom, the whole thing just blows up, and then he says chaos force field, and then to contain the explosion. And I'm just making some chaos stuff up because I know he had way too many chaos freaking out things. He has 2 different types of chaos control, chaos space and chaos time, and those are the same thing, but like time and space, like and then he's there, and they're all wondering, like, they look through his files, and they were like, he lives at this address, but not much is known. We can't even find past records on this man at all. All we know is his name is Shadow, and that is it. Nothing else. We can't find nothing at all. It's like this man was a ghost until a year ago. Until a year and over a half a year ago. A year and over a half. So, then he waits 2 months, gets his acceptance letter, hears that he passed. He beat All Might's record and everything like that. And he goes to school, let's say it was a weekend, he got it on Saturday, and then now it's Monday, so time skip. Just 2 days. and he's walking to class, and he's getting ready to open the door, and that's where I'm going to leave it off. But I wanted to know, do you all want Sonic, Tails, Amy, like, do you want those characters to show up? I already added Eggman. I wanted to add Eggman because I added his grandfather. So, kind of makes sense that he would be in here. But, should I add Sonic, Tails, and all of them in there? What do you all think? Tell me in the comics.